Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news now, guys. You know, the NFL offseason is always full of surprises. And this year, the Detroit Lions are making some interesting moves that could reshape their roster in a pretty significant way. And trust me, this story is far from over, especially when you look at the recent trade that sent shockwaves through the NFC North. The Lions, as many of you already know, have been building a serious momentum, but they've also had their fair share of challenges, particularly on the defensive front. And that's exactly where the latest news comes in, involving a trade that might just be a game-changer for Detroit's defense and ultimately their championship aspirations. Let's set the scene here. The Lions, coming off a solid 2024 season where they showed offensive firepower and resilience, have been focusing on tightening up their defense. But as many fans saw during training camp this year, their defensive line, especially the interior, has taken some hits. Alan McNeil and Mekhi Wingo, two promising young defensive tackles, are currently on the physically unable to perform list, which is never a good sign at this stage of the preparation. On top of that, Josh Paschal is on the non-football injury list, so he's sidelined as well. And the worst news of all, for the fans rooting for stability and depth up front, Levi Onwuzurike has been ruled out for the entire season due to an ACL injury. That's a blow that leaves a significant gap in the interior line, and it really highlights how critical it is for the Lions to act swiftly. Now, this is where the trade with the Dallas Cowboys comes into focus. The Lions, recognizing the urgency to bolster their defensive line, especially at defensive tackle, have looked into the trade market, and they've managed to land Mazi Smith from the Cowboys. This move is not just about adding another player. It's about a calculated effort to address a clear need and to bring in a player who, despite some struggles, has a lot of untapped potential. Mazi Smith, drafted by the Cowboys in the 2023 NFL Draft, was selected because of his impressive athletic profile. Big, strong, with long arms, and the ability to win with his size and athleticism. But as many of you know, the transition to the NFL hasn't been entirely smooth for him. He's struggled to find consistency, which has opened the door for the Lions to swoop in. What's interesting here is the context of Dallas's roster and coaching staff. Entering camp this year, Mazi Smith is feeling the pressure more than ever. The new defensive coordinator in Matt Eberflus, who's known for his complex, aggressive schemes, Smith isn't exactly a lock to be a starter or even a key rotational player right now. The Cowboys have been adding talent, drafting Jay Toya and Tommy Akingbasot, and signing veterans like Solomon Thomas and Perion Winfrey, so the competition for those interior spots is fierce. If Smith doesn't show the flashes of brilliance he displayed at Michigan early on, there's a real chance he could become expendable. And that's where Detroit's opportunity comes into play. But let's not forget, despite some inconsistency, Mazi Smith has already shown glimpses of his potential. Over 2 seasons, he's accumulated 16 pressures, 3 sacks, 38 tackles, and 27 stops, all as a nose tackle. That's not insignificant. This is a player with the physical tools and just enough production to suggest that, under the right coaching and scheme, he could develop into a stalwart in the middle. And if there's one team that might unlock that potential, it's the Detroit Lions, especially with their culture of toughness, discipline, and relentless pursuit of excellence under head coach Dan Campbell. Now, let's talk about the fit. The Lions' defensive scheme under Aaron Glenn has been evolving, but one thing that's clear is their desire for versatility and power up front. Adding a player like Mazi Smith, who can occupy multiple blockers and give the linebackers more freedom to make plays, could be exactly what Detroit needs to elevate their run defense and pressure the quarterback more consistently. And don't forget, Detroit's defensive line has shown flashes of dominance in recent years, but consistency has been an issue, especially against the run. Smith's size and athleticism could be the missing piece to bring that stability. This trade also fits into the broader narrative of the Lions' ongoing roster construction. They've been aggressive in free agency, bringing in veteran leaders and young talent. And now, with this addition, they're showing a clear focus on the trenches. It's no secret that a successful NFL team starts up front, and Detroit is making a statement that they're serious about dominating in the interior. Plus, the coaching staff under Dan Campbell and his defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn will have a chance to develop Smith, to help him harness his physical tools and turn those flashes into consistent game-impacting plays. From a strategic perspective, this trade could also serve as a wake-up call for other players on the roster. It sends a message that Detroit is willing to make bold moves to improve and that no one's spot is guaranteed. For Mazi Smith, this could be a fresh start, a chance to prove himself in a system that values grit and effort as much as talent. And for the fan base, it's exciting because it shows that the Lions are not content with just being good. They want to be great, and they're willing to make tough decisions to get there. Looking at the bigger picture, this move also has implications for the NFC North as a whole. The division has been highly competitive in recent years, with the Vikings, Packers, and Bears all making significant moves in the offseason. The Lions are clearly positioning themselves not just to compete but to dominate. Strengthening the defensive line is a critical piece of that puzzle because if Detroit's defense can hold its ground and improve in stopping the run, it will allow their offense, led by Jared Goff and a talented group of skilled players, to play more aggressively and with less pressure. That's a recipe for sustained success. And let's not forget what this means for the long-term development of the Lions roster. The addition of Mazi Smith isn't just about this season. It's about building a foundation. If he can develop into the player they envision, Detroit could have a dominant interior presence for years to come. This aligns perfectly with their draft strategy, which has been focused on finding players with high ceilings and the potential to grow into core contributors. It's a move that reflects a broader vision for the team, a team that's not just trying to win now, but also setting itself up for sustained excellence. As fans, we know how important the interior of the defensive line is in today's NFL. It's where games are often won and lost. If Detroit can get Mazi Smith to fulfill even part of his potential, it could be the difference maker in close games, in playoff battles, and ultimately in their quest for that elusive Super Bowl title. The Lions have been knocking on the door for a while now, and with this kind of strategic move, they're showing that they're not just satisfied with being decent. They want to be champions. And of course, all of this is happening amid a backdrop of high expectations. The Lions, after finishing the 2024 season with a 10-7 record and just missing the playoffs, are hungry for more. They've invested heavily in the roster, made smart draft choices, and now they're adding a player like Mazi Smith, who could be a key piece in the puzzle. The coaching staff is pushing hard, and the players are motivated. The NFC North landscape is shifting, and Detroit is positioning itself to be at the forefront of that shift. The division rivals are watching closely, knowing that the Lions mean business this year. The story of Mazi Smith's journey from college to the NFL, and now potentially to a pivotal role with the Lions, is a testament to how unpredictable and exciting football can be. It's a reminder that sometimes, a change of scenery and the right coaching staff can unlock a player's true potential. And if you look at Detroit's recent history, they've had a knack for developing talented players and turning them into stars. This trade could very well be the next chapter in that ongoing story. In conclusion, folks, what does all this mean for the Detroit Lions? It's a clear message. They're not just aiming to compete, they're aiming to dominate. They're making strategic moves to fill the gaps, to build a tougher, more resilient team that can handle the rigors of an NFL season and make a real push in the playoffs. The addition of Mazi Smith is a move that speaks volumes about their mindset: aggressive, strategic, and focused on long-term success. As we get closer to the regular season, all eyes will be on how Smith adapts to Detroit's system, how he develops under Campbell's leadership, and whether this move pays off in the way Lions fans are dreaming about. So, stay tuned, because the NFC North is about to get even more interesting, and Detroit Lions are right at the heart of it. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this move? Do you believe Mazi Smith has what it takes to become a key player in Detroit's defensive line? Are you excited about the potential of this new addition, or do you think the Lions should have looked elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion really matters to us, and it matters to the team as well. Remember, this is just the beginning of what promises to be an exciting season, and I'll be back soon with even more updates. So stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. Whether it's game analysis, player updates, or insider scoops, you can count on us to keep you informed and engaged. Thanks for being part of this Lions family, and let's keep the passion alive as we gear up for another epic NFL season.